Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Daryl Urbanski, your host as always. And today we are joined by Royan Nidea, founder of Setters Philippines, the go-to expert for coaches and B2B founders looking to revolutionize their client acquisition process. With a knack for turning connections into conversions, Royan empowers businesses to contact more than 1,000 leads a day and close 2 to 3 clients a month. His strategic approach has propelled brands from various sectors to staggering growth, enabling them to scale revenues and expand their market footprint significantly. Whether it's leveraging automation for lead gen or training appointment setters for conversions, Royan's methodologies are designed to deliver tangible results. I've asked Royan to join us here today to share his story plus insights on scaling a business while maintaining a lean operation, his blueprint for success. So Royan, thank you so much for joining us here, man. How you doing?
So excited to be here, Coach Daryl. I haven't been able to introduce myself that good in how you did it.
I'll follow you around. I'll introduce you everywhere you go. It'll be.
Let's go. Let's go.
So how did you even get into this? Before we start talking about the results you're getting online for your clients, are your parents in marketing and sales? Or is lead gen the family business or what?
That's a great question. That's a great question. No, I actually belong to a family of professionals. So they're lawyers, accountants. They're very, very into the education thing. And I went to a totally different path because I actually quit college when I was just 18. I
Right.
dropped out of college.
A little bit of pressure there. All your family are all.
Yes. Well, I don't want to do that. Like, the school is not a cool thing, but that's not what I want to preach. I quit college, and my first job was in a call center. Was making like $1 per hour. And that, after a few years, gave me an opportunity to work online. And I was working for this company who were a group of coaches and consultants. And they needed someone to close sales for them, to help them with client acquisition. When they hired me, I thought that, okay, I'm just going to do the sales. But turns out they don't have a process in place to generate leads. And that is basically how I discovered the probably two most important things when building a business: the ability to be able to generate leads and to close a sale. So I started doing that with them. Was very successful until I realized that I can do it and help more people. So I started my own company, and the rest is history.
And the rest is history, as they say. That's fantastic. So is it that easy? Like it was just, hey, I just got into this and the heavens parted and I said the magic words and people opened their wallets and money flowed through the computer and filled my, is that how it went down? Am I close?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. I went through a lot of that moment when I quit college and then started joining the workforce was my probably the most difficult time of my life. I experienced only eating once a day. Literally don't have money to buy food. And since that is a decision that I made for myself, I didn't even ask any help from my family. They didn't know what was I was going through. My father would call me up, ask if I needed help. I'd tell him I'm doing great, everything's good. But the truth is I wasn't eating anymore. I don't have money.
And that I think is a real painful thing entrepreneurs know. Like when you venture out on your own, when you go against other people's advice, you really regret the whole I told you, right? And it's you said it, so it's good. It's tough for a lot of people.
It's true.
Talking at the same time. It is huge. And what a feeling it is to be able to come around from that. I remember when I gave my adopted parents some money to help them retire. And that's just a great, everyone should buy their parents a house. That's a good feeling.
Absolutely. It's done.
Buy your mom a house. Buy your mom a house.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's good. It's good. And it's just, that's just an amazing thing for you to say, because for a lot of people, of course, they go on to this journey to chase money. But then when you get to a certain point where you've already reached the financial success, it will all goes down to what impact you can make. And if in order for you to stay in the game, it's really about like thinking, how can I serve people? Because it always goes back to being a man and women for others. I think that's what's just that is what's really gonna make us grow. Because if you don't have something like that, just gonna especially once you get to financial success, you're just gonna start chilling out.
It depends. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that. Once you've got once you've got enough money in the bank that you feel like you could take weeks off work, you need a deeper why. The money stops being worth it.
Exactly.
Unless there's some people that are scarred. I've noticed this is my own personal experience. Like a lot of people, if they're well-rounded individuals, they don't necessarily seek power because they've got everything that they need. They feel fulfilled. And some people, I'm not trying to talk, I'm not saying everybody's this way, but a lot of people, they may have come from some sort of past that created a psychological scar of some sort, and they never stop running away from it. And
Yeah.
some people, I've met a lot of hyper successful people that when you actually get to know them and get down to it, it's actually just they're obsessive about getting away from something. It's not even they want that, it's that what it gives them. So you have to find a deeper why, because once you have everything, I know for me, my vices started taking over. When I was like, I don't need to work for 6 months to a year. Why can't I show up and smoke a joint before this client call? I don't need this client if they can't accept me for who I am. I deserve it. Come home from a long day of work. I'm from Canada. Weed was legal there before it was legal. So I come home from work. They want to relax, right? That's your reward after a long day. Well, geez, I won. So I should get all my rewards as much as I want anytime I want.
Yeah.
The vices take over. And that's like you say, you really do have to find a deeper purpose, deeper meaning, I think.
I love that.
Yeah.
True. You can still smoke a joint and make an impact.
Sure, there's a lot of hours in a day. Key is
Absolutely.
control, though. The key is control, right?
Yes.
Who's in
Yes.
control? The man who raised me, my step adopted dad, used to say the stupidest thing you can do is something out of habit. And not in a good way, not the good things, brushing your teeth, that's not stupid, but the things that you do habitually, because it's like punching yourself in the face.
Yeah. So
And
that's so powerful, man. What
yeah,
you said about being in control.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who's in control? My phone never rings. That's freedom. I don't, no notifications, no rings.
True.
Who's in control, me or my phone?
True.
Some app can reach out and interrupt my meeting, my day, my deep work. Bing,
Exactly.
hey, so-and-so mentioned you. I don't care. I'll get to that. I am in the driver's seat of my life. So
You got
I
it,
come
man.
to this tool when I need the tool. I'm not gonna let the tool use me as a tool, right?
True. True. Control is freedom. That's what it's all. I was having a conversation with my wife the other day, and we're just saying, man, like the number one thing that I appreciate most about my life today is that I can feel I have so much control. If something goes wrong, I don't get affected because I'm in control. I could just, okay, I just do this. I always just move forward because of that control you're talking about. And I was having a conversation with my friends the other day, and so they were talking about this particular weed, and I told them I don't have any vices anymore. And they were saying, you don't smoke anymore? Yeah, I do, but it's just when I want to. It's not because they were talking about they wanted to stop for a while, but they failed. So it's okay that I don't experience that anymore. I just do it when I want to. It's not because I have to or there's an itch of me doing it. So it's very powerful what you said about control.
Oh, 100%. And that's in all sorts of ways, even financially. I think as a young man, obviously women too, but especially because of traditionally men have been known to be the providers in that, it's really important that a man learn how to provide financially. I think that's a really important help. Everybody wants to be fit, rich, and happy. And I think if you can be fit and you can work every day on getting relatively rich, or at least learning how to use things to accomplish, then that will equal being happy. But if you're not fit, you're gonna have health problems. If you're not rich, you can be fit, you can be fat fit, where you're fit, but you're really unhealthy on the inside.
Exactly. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, that's where they struggle, I believe. That it's about being able to be in control, especially with their time. And this is what we try to actually communicate to our clients with if by leveraging technology, by leveraging virtual assistants, they will be able to buy back their time and they will have better control over their time because our attention is the most powerful, important asset for us as a person, as an entrepreneur. And if we are dialed in into doing the tedious task that we can delegate, like all of the day are just like consumed, but there's so many things we can do that are more important that would really move the needle. So it's really that control as well and freedom.
Yeah, to expand on that, what would you recommend to someone who's starting out or struggling? They're just starting out in business, or they've been in business for a while, but their business isn't growing, they're struggling, they're not sure what to do. What would you recommend to someone?
I would always consider delegation.
Okay.
Here's the reason why. If you're a struggling entrepreneur, most likely you also feel burnout. And not because you're tired from working, but simply because you feel that you're doing a lot of things on a daily basis, but at the same time, you feel that you're not productive. And if you start considering, I learned this from Russell Brunson. He said that the common challenge that entrepreneurs do is that we always ask the question, how, instead of who. Every time we want to achieve something or we want to things get done, we ask the question, how. So we'll end up trying to figure that out. And it's not easy to do things, right? You want to create an app, instead of asking question who, you ask how, you try to build an app. But that's not the goal. The goal is for you to achieve your vision, not to create the app. So instead of figuring out how to create an app, you should be asking who. Now, maybe some audience would ask, but what if I don't have the money, right? This is where you basically execute on small things that will move the needle. Then if you don't have the money, you focus on bringing in money. Like when I was just starting out, so when I told you earlier, I quit a 6-figure job, and then to start my own business, I made $200 in my first month. And after a month, I made $1,000. Immediately, I hired a VA. But here's what I was doing. I was simply contacting 100 people a day and specifically communicating to them what I will help them with and who exactly I'm helping. If I do 100 a day outreach from Mondays to Friday, that's 2,000 people a month, and I get something from that. And I would probably close 1 or 2 sales from that, right? But if I continue doing that thing on my own, I wouldn't be able to grow in scale. So the next thing immediately that I did was to hire someone to do that for me and to do more of that. And I multiplied and multiplied. Like for my company right now, we're doing like 20,000 outreach a day.
That's so powerful. So I love this because I literally just sent this to someone. They signed up for my program.
Yeah.
And talking to them, we gave them a mini challenge, which I call the 7-step fast cash plan that works. And you just walked through it right now. That's why I think it's perfect. So this fast cash plan, it works for selling both products and services. It works for both online, offline businesses. Heck, it even works for job hunting. Step 1, identify a group of people sharing a specific problem you can fix. Stereotype. Step 2, find or create a product or service, or maybe you already have one. Note, a job is a business with one product, your time, and one customer, your boss. Step 3, create a promotion describing it and its benefits.
Yep.
Step 4, run a test. Reach out to 100 ideal prospects one-on-one via phone, face-to-face, and or real-time chat. You're asking, would you or anyone you know need help with problem? Or would you or anyone you know like result? Step 5, analyze results. Step 6, if results are good, reach out to another 100 ideal clients.
Yeah.
If results are not good, improve your product, service, or promotion and start again. Step 7, if results are good, keep rolling and taking care of business.
Exactly.
Is there anything you would add to that or change?
No, that's perfect. Don't give up. Be consistent. That's probably where people struggle, the consistency.
Yeah.
Because it's tough. It's tough. You contact 100 people in the first week, no, you don't get a response. It's gonna make you feel bad. You just keep on going. You would get something from it for sure.
Now, how do you do that? So I love this because I'm having, obviously, you know how to do this. When I didn't know how to do it, I remember tasking a friend of mine, yeah, but what if people, like you brought up, what if they laugh? What if they don't like it? And he was like, eyeballs must be sacrificed. He was just, people have to see your thing. You're going to have to sacrifice some eyeballs
Exactly.
on things that are terrible to know which ones are good. And I just remember like the way that's like a core memory for me. He was just like, eyeballs will be sacrificed in the pursuit of your vision. I forget how, but just this whole thing. And it's you're saying, you just got to do it. Now, what are biggest mistakes that people make? Like because some of it is someone's, okay, I'm going to message 100 people a day, but oh, now it won't let me. Now my account shut down. Now this is this.
Okay.
Can we talk about what are some of the biggest mistakes people make?
I think the most common, aside from giving up, but this is the fact that they try to sell in the first message. I think that's the most common thing that I notice, especially with no experience whatsoever. When you start a conversation, just ask a question. That's it. You ask a question. You will get more responses if you ask a question. Because when you try to sell for a lot of people, they assume, right? And then they say, okay, and then introduce themselves like we were the best. So just dating, like you go to a bar and you start telling about yourself. No, the other side is not going to be interested. But if you ask questions, it could be as simple. We probably went to clubs. Super common questions. Like, do you always go here?
Yeah.
Are you with your friends? So you just ask a question. If you're trying to pinpoint a problem, let's say you're trying to sell water, right? In the streets. Ask people a question if they're thirsty. You will get more responses by telling them, hey, here's a 10, here's water. Ask them a question if they're thirsty, if they need water, instead of selling it. You'll get more responses. This works for pretty much everyone. So if you want to start it, so it's simply, I always tell this to my clients, more connections plus conversations is equal to conversions, right? How do you get to conversations? You start with a question. Works for everyone. I was having a conversation with a friend. She's amazing in video. She's a content creator. But in person, she's struggling to start a conversation. I told her, just ask a question. You don't have to go right into the conversation. Just ask a question. How's your trip? How's your trip going here? Oh, have you been here for a while now? Just start a question.
I had a friend give me a great acronym for how to always think of something to talk about. Because sometimes, what are you talking? And he said,
Ford.
Form. What'd you say?
Ford.
Yours is D. Okay. Mine is friends and family, occupation, recreation, money.
Oh, it's form for you?
Yeah. What's
For
yours?
me, it's Ford. Family, opportunities, relationships, dreams.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Ford. Okay. Dreams. Yeah. Okay.
Dreams. Yes. It's not that deep, but yeah.
No, I
I like
think it's great.
so recreation and money. Form. Money.
Yeah.
Form.
Yeah. You wrote.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
Family, occupation, recreation, money. I love that too.
Yeah. I like yours. Let's go over yours again. What was yours? Friends,
Ford. Family,
Yeah.
opportunities, relationship, dreams.
family.
How's your mom?
Yeah. Yeah. Family, friends. Hey, how do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know
Relationship. How's your
so-and-so?
girl? Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. I like that.
I like yours too. Form.
Yeah.
Got
That's
that.
good. We each got something there. That's good. It's a writer downer. All right. Connections and conversations equal conversions. Start with a question. When we're talking about that, it made me feel like it sounds like these are just quiz funnels, but done in a chat.
you could it could be like that. It could be like that. It could be like that, actually. But that's more direct. The other way to do it is just by doing it personalized, right? If you're doesn't matter what platform it is, you saw something in their post, you say something about that. But now you're connected with each other, you put out content, and then later on you just conversation. So it depends on what you're trying to do. But if we're talking about how to get clients fast in 30 days, just go direct, ask questions. You get a lot of no, but you will get like 1, 2 yes.
Yeah, you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince.
Yes.
From the Princess and the Frog. I don't know if that's anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So
If you're good looking like you, it's not gonna be a problem. The frogs will be very happy.
again, what are some of the biggest mistakes? You said first, they're not consistent enough. Second, they try to sell in the first message. Third, they don't start with a question.
And when I sell, they talk about themselves. So let's go technical. When you're doing an outreach, you simply ask the question, what's in it for me? So you put yourself in the shoes of the person that's going to receive the message. You ask yourself a question, what's in it for me? Because at the end of the day, people are motivated with self-interest. Doesn't matter if they like you or not. If they have something that they can get from you, then they will be motivated to engage with you. So you have to leverage that because that's just human psychology. Make sense?
Yeah.
So you ask that question, what's in it for me if I'm the customer? And then you go deep on what is it that your offer is, what is it for the customer?
I like that. I like that. That's a really important one because it's about keeping the emphasis on them, not on you.
Yes.
And I'm as guilty as this as anybody. When you have somebody that asks a couple of questions, you then open up into a big pitch without qualifying. I think it's a really important tip here is if you have to make an error in sales, err on the side of qualifying, not pitching.
Exactly.
I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah. They say that when you're selling, if you're talking 70% of the time, you already lost the sale. So it's like a good guide to know if you're doing well or not in the sale,
Yeah,
in the sales process. Yeah.
I like that. I like it.
Because you want to be a consultant, right? You want to be a consultant, not a salesperson. Especially if you're in the service business, expertise business, right? Someone reached out to you, what's the cost of your services? You don't jump like giving them the price. Yeah.
Right. Love that. So what are some of the other mistakes or what prevents people from being able to do that? It sounds fantastic. Already having heard it, I'm like, I want to contact 1,000 people a day.
Yeah.
What are some of the real hurdles to that?
Let's talk about why would it not work, right? Let's say they're consistent, they have the right message, they're contacting people. One of the reasons why most probably it's not going to work is that if they don't have an optimized online presence, if they're contacting people, let's say online, but even in person, this works, right? So you start reaching out to people and you're not looking okay. You didn't take your look seriously. People is not going to take you seriously. So if you look at this from an executional perspective, you want to start with, okay, number one, optimize my presence, right? If it's person, then your presence. Get a haircut, put some okay clothes. If it's online, then optimize your online presence because people are going to look you up. Like you send them a message, most probably, if not always, they will look you up. And if they can see that your social presence and online, and you don't, that is so important, but a lot of people or most are actually miss out on it. They don't take their online presence seriously. Like they have LinkedIn account, they don't even have a proper cover banner. They have a Facebook page, their picture is messed up. So you have to fix that part. So optimize your presence, outreach. So optimize outreach, and then opportunities will come.
I love it. I love it. Are there any technical difficulties? Like what? I just start cold emailing people or I just start messaging on my Facebook or LinkedIn account?
Technical difficulties, you have to remind yourself all platforms have their own limitations that they set. So don't go beyond that. Stop looking for how to bypass and stuff like that. Because just work around it. If you want to the best way to bypass, it's like a trick. Okay. So let's say, for example, on LinkedIn, you can contact 50 leads a day. Most people would try to look for a hack to bypass that system. But the safest way to do it is to simply invest in additional accounts, not your accounts, but your friends, your family's account, your employees. You use that so that you can reach out to more people. So back in the day, we can do 100 connection requests a day on LinkedIn. Nowadays, we can't do that anymore. But we are still able to do mass outreach on LinkedIn by investing in multiple LinkedIn accounts. That's a little bit technical, but
yeah, and some people you can message even if you're not connected. But what I love is you said a couple of things earlier. You said one, it doesn't necessarily matter what platform. I think what matters most is being able to connect to the person. So that means that even if you have 12 LinkedIn accounts, you could use 1, 2, 3 LinkedIn accounts that you have with your staff and 1, 2 different email domains and 1, 2, 3 Facebook profiles and whatever else that you've got. The key is the consistency in contacting the right people.
Yes. And there's a common question too, right? What is good? Is it Facebook good? No platform is better than the other. Where
Right.
your customers is what really matters. If you're trying to contact, it's just how it works. So you have a target audience and they are using a platform more than the other platform. They spend more time in particular platform. So you have to find that platform where you can find them. And you go down on that one.
As
In
someone
my
goes, as someone goes through this process, what are the first parts they should look to automate? What parts should they not automate or delegate right away? What are the mission critical pieces that an owner needs to have hands in on to make sure this is done right?
Okay, the best way to do before automating and delegating is to achieve, let's say, it's like for a lot of companies, it's called like product market fit. In this case, so there's a process. The one common challenge or mistake that people do is that they automate too fast or delegate too fast. You have to be able to test different messages first, processes, before you automate and delegate. Once you get that piece, so there is a message that's gonna work. The last thing that you want to do is, what do you call this? Automate immediately.
Mhm.
Because I'll give you an example. People would do it and it's not working. And they think that automating it will fix that problem.
Yes.
Or delegating it will fix that problem, but it's not.
And
It's
a lot of
probably
people are dancing around selling it. I don't want to sell it. That's not my highest use of work.
a
You sell
lot
it.
of people say that.
Give me, I'm not saying names, but I've in recent times seen clients who are like, hey, our franchise of 40 locations are failing. You do it all. You figure out this problem. And I could, but why wouldn't I just do that for my own thing?
And you have to accept the fact that if you enter the entrepreneurship journey, you have to sell. You cannot say you don't want to sell because it's not your thing or you don't like it. Business is selling something.
Yeah.
So if you say you don't want to sell, it doesn't make sense.
You're
Even
selling
if you
your
have a sales
staff to show up at
team,
work every day. You're selling your customers to do business
yeah,
with you and stay with you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I used to do all of my lead generation in sales closing. Nowadays, I don't do this stuff anymore. I have a team in place, but I know how to do it. That's why I can support my team. That's why I can delegate, because I was already able to do it myself.
Oh, let's say that again. Now that you can do it yourself effectively, you can delegate it.
Yes.
But if you couldn't do it yourself, you might not be able to delegate it.
You don't have to be an expert with it. You just have to know the system, the process. You need to know what's going on, because at the end of the day, you are the leader and you are, let's say, the boss. You can't blame anyone else when it's not working. You are someone, a sales closer, it's not working. No, you can't blame him. That's on you.
Yeah.
It,
Oh, I love that.
um,
Spitting fire here. Fire that not even certain CEOs of international companies have learned. It's real. It's real talk.
real. It's real.
Where do you see things going in the next 5, 10 years? We've got AI, we have all these AI tools, we've got deep fake videos and audios.
Man, I love this question. I love this question. AI is there. Outsourcing in the Philippines is gonna be super duper amazing. You know why? Because a lot of people wants AI. A lot of people also wants to go personalized. It's an angle that I actually considering. So AI is new, but then there's still this group of people that would say we want the personalized stuff. It's there's pretty much everyone is using automatic cars anymore or right now, but there's still a group of people that sticks with manual cars.
Yep.
Same thing like that. So if we could be in a position where we can combine outsourcing and artificial intelligence, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for the Philippines because we are seen as number one place for specifically virtual assistants. And I'm so excited to be able to contribute to that industry and create jobs. My vision is to basically create this corporation that will focus on moving blue collar jobs to work at the call center agent industries, and then moving call center people to doing virtual assistant working from home. It just becomes a cycle. So people like they're paddy cab drivers, sales ladies, they can become call center professionals and 2x 3x their income. And then those people who are stuck in call center already tired of doing call center work can become VAs.
Yep.
And once they become VAs, start working from home, they can explore other things, freelancing, starting your own business. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. That's a vision.
So
One
we
million
did,
online jobs.
say that again.
Like the mission is to create 1 million online jobs for me. That's what I'm trying to
I love that.
make.
It's a great
Yeah.
mission. I want to support
Yeah,
you in.
man. Thank
So
you. Thank you to
we've
you.
said
'Cause
it indirectly. What are some of the specific skills or behaviors that you feel are important to improve or develop? Again, we've said some of these indirectly, but let's really hit the nail on the head for people to be
man,
prepared.
take risk. Take risk. The more risk you take, the more mistakes you will make, the more learnings you will get
Hmm,
easily. Just take risk. It's especially if you're young.
right.
And what I love about your content, Coach Cheryl, is that you talk about more on the holistic side of entrepreneurship, right? So you have to be healthy. That's true. You cannot be wealthy if you're not healthy.
Hmm.
You have to take care of your relationships, right? You're not gonna to do you really want to become a successful entrepreneur and get a divorce or something? You know what I mean? It's like, for if you notice, ultra high successful entrepreneurs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, let's name like this top people, they're all divorced. Obsession comes with a cost.
Right.
Obsession comes with a cost. The holistic part of like entrepreneurship, like
100%. 100%. I think I know people that have made a ton of money and then spent a ton of money trying to get their health back. I know people that made a lot of money and it cost them a ton of relationships in their life. Even with their kids. Actually, we did a mastermind lunch recently, and one person mentioned that their relationship with their son, they were very grateful that they had an opportunity during the pandemic to spend 2 months with their college, university age son,
wow.
because during that time they realized how much they had lost and actually how much it had impacted their son in a negative way. And they were given an opportunity to rebuild that bridge. And although they live countries apart, things that are better now than they ever have been. And despite the accomplishments this person has had, they realize that is actually the most important thing to them at this point in time in their life.
Yeah.
You can't eat money. I've been there where I've been able to do things in my life and then felt, man, I wish other people could be here with me.
Yeah.
And so squad goals.
So important.
Yeah, it's not just getting there, it's bringing your crew with you, right?
Absolutely. It's so important. So I think that's why it's so important to set goals for the three core desires that we have: health, relationships, and wealth. Because for most of the time we look at career and then we go strive for the career, the business, and then we like forget health and relationships. So important to be intentional with everything.
100%. In my coaching program, my flagship Habit Hero program, we actually do this thing called Top 25 VIPs, where we have members create a top 25 VIP list and actually come up with a schedule that gets planned to stay in touch, even if it's just liking, commenting other stuff on social, but it's intentionally building relationships, deeper relationships with 25 people over a year. It's one small component to this coaching program. But anyways, I digress. Speaking of habits, what do you feel are some of the most important habits that you have your most successful clients have had? You already said now it's setting goals, but what about setting goals? Okay, I set goals for health, for relationships, for my business. Is that it? Or what habits do I need? Or what habits have you seen produce the best results?
I would always say the habit of thinking is actually, for me, I think is the best. Let me break it down. For a lot of entrepreneurs, what they miss out is the ability to actually have the time to think. So there's a conversation between a millionaire and a billionaire, right? There's this millionaire, he was in this billionaire's place, and he's like, wow, this is such an amazing place you have, right? Like at a penthouse in Dubai. And then the millionaire said, what do I need to do to be able to become a billionaire? Billionaire said, you have to be in a position where you only work, I think he said 18 hours a week or even less, right? 6 hours Tuesday, 6 hours Wednesday, or something like that. Like 6 hours, 3 days in 1 week. The rest, you only spend it for yourself. so that you can think. The more you can think, the more you can actually make the things that you want to do happen. It's because when you get to a certain point, when you're stuck in implementing, you don't get to think anymore. You forget the vision.
Right.
You don't get to think, to like brainstorm. You don't even have the time to look, do I need to pivot and all? And that's for me, it's been very powerful. Because I spent so much time trying to be in a place where I have my time.
Yep. What is it? Constraints. But what innovation is, the necessity is the mother of innovation. So
Yeah.
working within constraints is really powerful. Work expands to fill the time you give it. If you give a task 8 hours, it'll take you 8 hours to do. If you give it 2 hours,
Yes.
you'll be able to get it done. Richard Branson is legend. It's been told. I don't know if this is a story I heard or something I was told right now, but I know I've heard it. And I believe someone was telling me they're trying to get Richard Branson, who's a billionaire, to be a keynote speaker at one of their events. And they got in touch with his direct assistant, the one that works with him every day. And they asked him to come and speak on this weekend. And the assistant said, sorry, he's not available that time. That's his strategic planning time. He's booked those days off. Look, we'll pay him $50,000 and his flight here, his flight back. He just has to do the talk. He'll only be gone for 2-3 hours a day or for the day. We'll do it. And
Yeah.
back goes, no, he's not interested. Look, we'll give $100,000 and $25,000 to his favorite charity, and we'll fly him. We've upgraded the flight. It'll be a shorter flight. He gets here, he does the talk, he flies back, boom, just like that. And the assistant, no, I'm sorry, he still said no. And they're like, listen, what amount of money can we write? Like $250,000? Well, 250. What amount of money? And she said, no. He said, there's no amount of money. He's already scheduled this time, and it's not available. And it was a comment. The guy said, wow, I wish I had $1 billion so I could turn down $250,000 speaking gig for an hour, couple hours of my time.
Yeah.
His friend said, no, if you were able to turn down the $250,000, you would make the decisions that could turn you into the billionaire. So it wasn't like, I wish I had billions so I could turn that down. It's he's following the behaviors that got him to where he was. So
Yeah.
a shiny carrot when he knew what he needed to do would have only put him off his path.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's why your story reminded me of that.
It's something that people forget to do. Yeah. No, obviously you can't just think, you have to execute and implement. But I think it's very dangerous to actually get to a place where you're only implementing and you're not thinking. Yeah, because and then of course exercise and if habits. If you're super struggling right now, you don't have any direction whatsoever, start with working out. Just exercise daily. You get the momentum, you're gonna be better. You feel win every day with exercise, you're gonna be better.
Yeah.
After a month, and you're gonna be better. So
I think we could break down a really great plan based off of what we've already shared here. Someone listening to this may want to listen to this interview again, because I think I told you this, my coaching program is built on research into 8 critical success factors. So we hired 10 assistants to help me go through all the academic literature to see what the science said about business success. And we uncovered 8 critical success factors, 8 business habits, essentially, who determines who thrives and survives in unprecedented times and who fails. And those were self-efficacy, market intelligence, strategic planning, marketing strategy, sales strategy and skill, money management, business operations, and business intelligence. Those are the big 3 umbrella categories. And we broke those down into their subcomponents and the pieces. But what you're talking about here is really powerful, because there are certain characteristics more related to success, but there are also personal disciplines, strong body, strong mind, understanding, like having deadlines, like that's a sense of urgency. That's really important. Absolutely. To accept criticism, feedback, and to improve, a will to improve. Those are fundamentally important. Next is market intelligence. If someone is messaging 100 people a day, they may have to eat dirt for a while and humble themselves. But if they'll listen and engage in genuine conversation with these people and ask a lot of questions, how many days of talking to 100 people will go by before you finally figure out how to marry what you're trying to sell and what people want to buy? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now you've got Mrs. Margin Fit. Now you need to have a strategic plan, because it may not be what you thought it was going to be in the beginning. Sure. So what's your strategic plan to consistently deliver this to people? Turn it into a process. That's your marketing strategy and your sales strategy. And skills depend on what you're selling. McDonald's sells at impulse prices, so their selling is done in the ads. But if I'm selling airplanes, that's got a different sales cycle. I need different sales skills for that. And then it just builds from there. So I just think what you've shared has already been so valuable and so important. People combine or share thoughts, listen to this interview more than once or twice. Is there anything I haven't asked you that I should have asked you?
I think that's it. I think that's it. Thank you so. It's been an amazing time with you. I learned a lot, and I hope everyone also were able to learn a lot. Always remember, we're not here to build a business. We're here to leave a legacy, and you're gonna be okay.
I love that. And if people want to learn more, your offer is helping B2B founders contact 1,000 leads a day and close 2 to 3 clients a month. If people want to get in touch, they want to learn more, what's the best way for them to reach out?
You can visit me on LinkedIn. We can connect on LinkedIn, and yeah, happy to connect on LinkedIn. You can email success@setters.com.ph, and my team will take care of you.
What was the address again?
Success@setters.com.ph.
Success@setters.com.ph. SETERS.
Yes, sir. Success@setters.com.ph.
Setters. There you go. Success.
This goes,
SETERS.
yes, absolutely. This goes for every business owners who wants to be able to contact 1,000 leads a day and close 2 to 3 clients, and for everyone who are also an aspiring virtual assistant who wants to become a VA millionaire. So we're here for you.
Love that. And you can also find him on LinkedIn, Royan, last name Nidea. You know you got the right guy if he's talking about scaling up your business and works for Setters Philippines. Royan, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you for coming and sharing with my audience and I, knowing you have your own following, your own direct reports, your own family to take care of. Thank you for coming and sharing with us all so we can all do a little bit better.
You're amazing, Coach Daryl. Continue moving forward.